number two, like if I asked you how has the coronavirus affected your business, you say, coronavirus has affected my business, blah, blah, blah. Okay, ready? Tell me about when your love for cars began.
My love for cars began probably when I was a smaller child. Growing up in Metro Detroit, the car business obviously was a huge business back then, just like it is today. And I was just fascinated by cars. Every year they changed. It was always exciting to see what the manufacturer was going to do to next year's model as far as an upgrade and advancements in technologies and performance. It just always fascinated me as far as an industry because I didn't see anything out there in the world that was like the car business.
Tell me about when you founded your business and what it's called.
My business was founded in 1995 as the Can-Am Marketing Company, and it's an automotive aftermarket company where I deal with people that supply parts to repair shops, whether it's through parts stores, small warehouses, or large warehouses. But I also have evolved my business over the years into dealing with the modern-day e-commerce channel, which is something like you'd be familiar with Rock Auto, Amazon, people like that are in the parts distribution business now online.
And do you work from home, and what's the best part about working for yourself?
Yes, I do work from home, but I also work from my car. So I've always, my whole life, said I have two offices. The one that's in my home and one that rolls down the highway with four wheels because I cover a vast amount of real estate, so I'm on the road quite a bit. And yeah, I do enjoy working at home. It's been great, to be able to close to my family. A little more difficult when the kids were younger because they couldn't understand when Dad went into his office, he had to work. But far more positives than negatives from working from home.
And what sort of products would you say you specifically deal with the most?
I would say my largest category is brakes, also steering and suspension, power steering products, engine charging items such as alternators, starters for the car, engine management items. I do also deal in some hand tools and deal in some chemicals. And I would say the vast majority of those is what I call undercar products, which would be the brakes and steering and suspension.
Did I already ask you what the best part about working for yourself was?
I don't remember. The best part of working for myself? Well, there's a tremendous amount of, I don't know the right word, maybe pride, in knowing that every day when you get up and go to work, it's completely in your court. How much you want to do and how much you want to get done and how successful you'll be in calculating what you're doing is actually going to have a payoff for you. It takes a lot of thinking, a lot of pride, and a lot of trial and error. But over the years, you get a little bit better at it, and a little bit better at it, and you hopefully you're able to sustain that over the time frame that you're doing this.
So before the coronavirus hit, take me through a normal day at work. Say you're at home.
Coronavirus before it hit would be my typical day in the office here. I would generally get up, check my emails right away, check the world news right away, and check certain markets I always keep my eye on right away. And then I would get into a program that I've had since probably 1992 of contact tracking that I rely heavily upon for follow-up prospecting and then initiation of certain programs I have in place with customers right now to see where we're at with them. So it's a lot of follow-up what I do, but it's a lot of procuring and trying to create new customers and or new markets on a typical day.
And how has the coronavirus affected your business?
My business is twofold. What I call the traditional market, which is basically people taking their car to a repair shop and getting repaired. Those repair shops are funneled through my customers to receive their parts in order to repair cars. The second part of my business is the growing e-commerce business out there. We talked about it earlier with the likes of Rock Auto and Amazon. Both have been impacted. The one on the traditional side, much more of a slowdown there because people right now...
Wait a second. Sorry. Start that question over. Just right where you left off, but just like coronavirus has affected my business in the sense that...
The coronavirus has affected my business in the sense that during this time right now of what we call a crisis in our country, people are spending their money on food, clothing, and shelter. And that's, the basic needs and wants of survival. There are some repairs being done right now, but it's basically if somebody's car won't start or won't move at all, and they're trying to get it road ready so they can go, to the doctor or to get groceries or whatever they need to do that's a necessary item in this time for survival.
How do you stay optimistic in these times of distress?
I'm an optimistic person by nature, and I look at this right now as America has a rich history of overcoming things like this, and I see this as something that America will overcome. I don't have a definite time frame for it, but the early numbers out there are showing with the testing kits that people are getting healthier, actually. So the numbers are rising, but those are amongst the people they knew that were going to be impacted by this. I think the vast majority of our population will remain healthy, and I think we'll come out of this even a stronger nation, and I think my business will reflect that.
So a lot of the products you deal with end up resulting in basically somebody having to go to the repair shop to fix their car. That's a sign that your business is doing well, if repair shops are busy.
Yes, I've always used that as a gauge. I always drive by repair shops and see if their bays are full, they're busy. So that means people are out spending money on their vehicles, getting them repaired, and that's always been a benchmark of mine to see, what the gauge of the industry is doing right now as a whole.
All right. And then any final comments?
Yeah, it's just, I would just say whether it's my business or any other business, whatever you're going to do in life, be optimistic about it. There's going to be down days, maybe even down weeks, but it always equals out in the end, and just keep persevering and working hard at it.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.